So this here is a little more in-depth look at the Captain America First Avenger deck. He's actually pretty cool because Captain America is cool. He's got Throw. If we pay 3, generic, we unattach an equipment from Captain America. He deals damage equal to that equipment's mana value, divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 targets. So that's a really nice ability. You could do it to the opponent. You could do it to their creatures. You can use it as a combat trick during combat. You can attack with something with equipment attached to him, such as you'll see later, and you could use it to throw at the creature that's blocking you. I mean, it's a really cool ability. It's a really cool little mechanic that they threw on here. That's very flavorful. And we've got Catch. At the beginning of combat on our turn, we're going to attach up to 1 target equipment you control to Captain America. I like Captain America. He's not one of my favorite heroes, but he's, I thought he was a cool hero, especially during the Civil War comic, not the movie, but the comic. No, I think he's really awesome in card form here. Like, dang. Anyway, let's see what we've got in the deck. So let's start off with some card draw here. We've got Captain America, another Captain America, Liberator. So I just consider this one card draw because when Captain America enters, you may search your library for an equipment card with mana value of 3 or less. Put that onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So you could tutor yourself one of the equipment cards in here. I think there are 15 that cost 3 or less. There's some suggestions, but whatever suits your needs at the time. And whenever Captain America attacks, for each equipment attached to him, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. So if you happen to equip Captain America Liberator, you're going to be making tokens. I don't really do that. I mostly use it to search, and then we've got a 5/5 creature on the board. I think that's pretty good. We've got Wasp, Shrinking Savior. She's got flying, and whenever Wasp attacks, up to 1 other target creature gets -3/-0 until your next turn. Then draw a card for each creature with a power less than 0 on the battlefield. So we don't have too many things that'll do that, really. Just doing that alone is good for at least 1 card draw. And you don't even have to do it to a creature that you figure will block. You could do it to any of their creatures that you could make into a 0 power, so you can get that card draw. We've got Hawkeye, Avenging Archer. He's got reach. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, if Hawkeye dealt damage to it this turn, we get to draw a card. So if we tap him, Hawkeye deals 1 damage to any target. So you can use that to get rid of 1/1 creatures, or you can use it to finish off a creature that's taken damage during combat. If it blocked something, it has one more damage to kill it. You could use him, and we can get some card draw out of that. We got Hawkeye, Master Marksman. So he's got first strike and reach, and he's got trick arrows. Whenever Hawkeye becomes tapped, you may pay 1 up to 3 times. When you do, choose up to that many. So we got some versatility here. You've got net. Target creature can't block this turn. So that's nice. It's a kind of little bit of removal there. Keeps something really big from blocking you. And we got Explosive. Hawkeye deals 2 damage to target player. Sweet. And we've got Boomerang. Discard a card, then draw a card. So that's why I kind of put it in the card draw section here. We've got Black Widow, Intel Expert. We've got First Strike, and whenever Black Widow deals combat damage to an opponent, you and that player each draw 2 cards. The incentive here is if the opponent wants to draw 2 cards, they're going to let you hit them for 3. And if you have her equipped, it could be a little more than that. Depends on what's worth 2 cards. We've also got Black Widow, Agile Avenger. She's got Menace. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, we're going to put a +1 counter on her, and we get to draw a card. A little punishment for them drawing their second card. We've got Iron Man, Master of Machines. He's got Flying and Vigilance. Iron Man's going to get +1/+0 for each other artifact you control. And whenever Iron Man attacks, if an artifact entered the battlefield under our control this turn, we're going to draw a card. So Iron Man is an artifact creature, but it's other artifacts we control, so which we've got plenty of in here. We've also got the Mighty Thor, Jane Foster. So she's got Flying. Whenever the Mighty Thor attacks, exile up to 1 target non-token artifact or creature, then return that card to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Whenever an equipment you control enters, draw a card. So you can do it to an enemy's creature, or you could do it to any of the art. Well, you could do it to anything in here, but do it to any of the equipment so you could draw a card. We've also got the 10 rings. So your maximum hand size is 10. And at the beginning of your end step, if you have fewer than 10 cards in hand, draw cards equal to the difference. A great way to have a nice big hand. It is a bit expensive for 8, but there's a few ways to kind of, well, I know one in particular where you can kind of get an artifact out for free. So hopefully I have that card out, so it's not too bad. We have Reconnaissance Mission. So whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. So a bit more card draw that way. And we've got Whirlwind of Thought. So whenever you cast a non-creature spell, draw a card. So that'll go for all our non-creature artifacts that we're casting, or our enchantments. We've got very few instants and sorceries in here. It's mostly enchantments and artifacts. And creatures. So here's what I consider under the ramp. We've got Iron Lad, Young Avenger. He's got Flying. He's an artifact creature. And non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So that's good for a lot of our, well, everything else other than creatures. We've got Ant-Man, Elusive Avenger. So Ant-Man can't be blocked by creatures with greater power, and whenever Ant-Man deals combat damage to a player, that many create that many treasure tokens. So we got a bigger ramp for the treasure. What's nice is the treasure tokens are artifacts. So we care about artifacts. We're getting more artifacts that way. We've got Alicia Masters, Skilled Sculptor. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've cast a non-creature spell this turn, create a treasure. So once again, treasure. Nice artifacts there. She also has Sense the Good. At the beginning of your end step, each player gains control of all creatures they own. So you can keep people from stealing your stuff. The only downside is there is one card in here, the Civil War one you'll see later, where you want to steal their stuff temporarily. But other than that, we don't really have anything like that. So getting your stuff back is always nice. We got a Thought Vessel, so you have no maximum hand size. You could tap for generic. We got Talisman of Conviction. We could tap it for a generic, or tap it to add a red or a white, and it deals 1 damage to us. We have Progenitor's Icon. You're going to choose a creature type when it enters. We're going to choose Hero. We can add a mana of any color, and the next spell, or we can tap it for the next spell of the chosen type we cast this turn can be cast as though it has Flash. Usually use it for the mana, but the Flash is pretty handy. We have an Arc Reactor, so we've got Improvise. Our artifacts can help cast this spell. So our equipment, I'd say even our artifact creatures, we can tap them to help cast it for free, pretty much. because each artifact we tap after we've done activating mana abilities pays for 1 generic. Unfortunately, it enters tapped, but every turn after that, we're going to tap it to add 3 generic mana, or colorless mana. We've got a Gilded Lotus. It costs 5. Pretty hefty. No way to bring that down, but we could tap it to add 3 mana of any one color. We've got Iron Man, Titan of Innovation. So he's got flying and haste. And whenever Iron Man attacks, we create a treasure token. So again, with the treasure, yay. And then we may sacrifice a non-creature artifact. So we've got lots of non-creature artifacts in here. If we do, we get to search our library for an artifact card with a mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrificed artifact's mana value and put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. So it's a great way to, you can get rid of an artifact you don't really care about at that time and look for an artifact that costs 1 more and put it onto the battlefield. You could do that. You can only sacrifice a non-creature artifact, but when you're looking, it could be any artifact. It could be an artifact creature or just a regular artifact. So it's kind of nice for that. We've also got Tony Stark. We can pay 1 to tap him to look at the top 4 cards of our library. We can reveal an artifact card from among them, put it into our hand, put the rest on the bottom of our library in a random order. We could pay 4 and a blue and a red to transform him. Also, we could cast him for 4 and a blue and a red and just skip over to the other side if we want. And we've got the Invincible Iron Man. So I got him in the mana ramp because he's got flying haste. Not because of that, but because at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may put an artifact card from your hand onto the battlefield, so you get free artifacts. Again, if you have the 10 rings in hand, it's a great way to get them out for free. If it's an equipment, you can attach it to the Invincible Iron Man. So that's just a little bit of a bonus if you want to attach an equipment to him. He's already 5/5, but any other artifact, the Gilded Lotus, like, you're basically getting him out for free now. We've got the Origin of the Avengers. So on the first chapter, we scry 2. On the second chapter, we can put a hero creature card with a mana value 3 or less from our hand onto the battlefield. If we don't do that, we get to draw a card. So we can either get something out for free or we get card draw. And then on the third chapter, we're going to put a +1 counter on each creature we control. So a bit of a buff there. We have the Avengers Quinjet. It's got flying. It's a vehicle. It has crew 3. But whenever this vehicle enters or attacks, we could put a hero creature card from our hand onto the battlefield. Or we can return a target hero card from our grave to our hand. So we can either save somebody from the grave, or we can play something for free. I think it's a win-win there. And we've also got Steel Shaper's Gift. So we can, it's nice and cheap. It's one of the few sorceries we have in here. We can search our library for an equipment card, reveal that card, and put it into our hand, then shuffle. And there's one particular equipment I'd look for, but if you already have it, you could look for any other equipment. Here's what I'd like to call a little bit of protection. So remember, I don't know if you watched the other video with Invisible Woman, they had She-Hulk as a good lawyer. And this one, they got Matt Murdock, Justice Seeker. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 1. When you do, you put a +1 counter on target creature you control. And each creature you control with a counter on it has Ward 1. So a little bit of protection for whatever creature. All you got to do is pay 1, and because he is a lawyer, you got to pay. But you'll get that +1 counter plus Ward 1. Even better, we've got Captain America Super Soldier. He's got first strike. He enters with a shield counter on him. And as long as Captain America has a shield counter on him, you and other heroes you control have hexproof. So if a creature with a shield counter gets damaged, you're going to lose that shield counter. But we do have Jane Foster, or Jane Foster Thor, And she can blink him and get a shield counter back, giving all our creatures hexproof. We've also got Rescue Pepper Potts. She's got flash and flying. And when she enters, we're going to return up to 1 target artifact or creature you control to its owner's hand. If it was an artifact, put a +1 counter on rescue. So it's a great way to protect something you don't want destroyed, which is mostly creatures and artifacts in this deck. We've also got White Widow, free agent. When White Widow enters, we're going to choose one. We're going to put a +1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures, or we're going to return a target artifact or enchantment card from our grave to our hand. I prefer to wait for the latter, especially because, you know, people are going to try to remove things. And we've also got Winter Soldier, Reborn Avenger. So whenever Winter Soldier attacks, return target creature card with a mana value less than or equal to Winter Soldier's power from your grave to the battlefield. If a hero enters this way, it enters with an additional +1 counter on it. So he's a 3/5, so you'll only be able to bring back 3/5s. But if you equip him, or get a +1 counter on him, you can start to bring back things that cost a little bit more. More likely if you end up equipping him with something, give him +2. Like a lot of things cost 5 or less, so you can start bringing things back that are a little more expensive. And here's some somewhat removal type of stuff. We've got War Machine, James Rhodes. He is an artifact creature. It's got flying. Whenever War Machine attacks, we're going to tap up to 1 target creature. Keep them from blocking. We've got the Collector's Case. It's an artifact. When this artifact enters, tap up to 1 target creature and put 2 stun counters on it. So temporarily keep something from attacking or defending. We could also pay 3 and a blue to tap it to tap target creature. We've got Stunning Shot. So we're going to buff one of our things by putting 2 +1 counters on up to 1 target creature we control. Then we're going to tap up to 1 target creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. Again, temporarily keeping him out for a little bit. We've got Spider-Woman, Secret Agent. She's got flash. And when Spider-Woman enters, we're going to tap target creature an opponent controls, and that creature can't become untapped for as long as we control Spider-Woman. It's like perpetual stunning. We've got the Wondrous Wasp. She's got flash and flying. When the Wondrous Wasp enters, we're going to tap up to 1 target creature. It loses all abilities for as long as the Wondrous Wasp remains on the battlefield. So not only does she ends up taking away their abilities. So that could be really nice. We've got Quantum Reduction. So it's got Teamwork too. You may cast the spell as though that flash if cast using Teamwork. I don't really find it do that. Usually I cast it whenever I can. But you enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets -5/-0 and loses all abilities. Again, a nice little taking away abilities is something that's dangerous. We've got Frozen in Ice. When this aura enters, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and can't become untapped. So another really nice one to take something out for a while. We've got the Superhero Civil War, which I did mention earlier. For the first one, so you don't really want Alicia when you have this one. When you have this one out. For the first one chapter, you gain control of up to 2 target creatures with total mana value of 6 or less for as long as the saga remains on the battlefield. Chapter 2, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain vigilance till end of turn. And Chapter 3, target creature you control fights up to 1 other target creature. So to me, that's a bit of removal. You could take their big creature to fight one of their other creatures at the last chapter, or you could take a smaller creature and purposely have it fight a bigger creature of theirs to remove it. Either way, you will have to give the creature back after you do this, so make it count. We've got Murdoch's Crusade. So it has Teamwork 4. We choose one. If it was cast using Teamwork, we choose both. So we can exile target creature with Toughness 4 or greater. And we can exile target enchantment with mana value 4 or greater. It's for a bit more expensive things, but it works. We've got Final Showdown. So this is a nice one for options. It's got Spree, so we can add whatever combination we want, or all three. If we pay an extra, all creatures lose all abilities till end of turn. Another one, if we pay an extra, choose a creature you control, gains indestructible till end of turn. And the last one is, if you pay 3 and 2 white, destroy all creatures. I'd only use the last one as a last resort, but if you pay 2 generic, I like making creature lose all abilities and giving one of your creatures indestructible. This one's a little bit more in your favor. The Orbital Vibranium Bomb, which is reskin of Scourglass. If you tap it, you could sack this artifact, destroy all permanents except for artifacts and lands. So depending on, you got a lot of artifacts out, this could be in your favor. You can only activate it during your upkeep though. And we've got Secret Invasion. So enchant creature you control. When this aura enters, exile up to 1 target creature other than enchanted creature until this aura leaves the battlefield. Enchanted creature becomes a copy of that creature until this aura leaves the battlefield. Enchanted creature has ward 2. So you can remove somebody else's creature, so you can consider it removal, but I like to use it as protection in a way. So I can enchant one of my creatures I'm not really using much of. I can exile one of my own creatures that I want protected, and then that creature becomes a copy of the creature that I'm protecting, but it has ward 2 as well. And as soon as they remove that creature, I get the creature back that I was protecting. So I find it a very good protection spell in a way. The only thing is if I do it to Captain America First Avenger, I won't be doing commander damage to people if I do that. But it is an alternative way of protecting him. It's more for any of the other creatures in the deck that I want to protect. We've also got some other fun things in here, like the Panther Robot. It's got an affinity for artifacts, so it's cheaper for every artifact you have. It costs 10, but with all the artifacts in here, it might cost 0 for an 8/8 with Reach and Trample. We got the Simulacrum Synthesizer. When this artifact enters, we're going to scry 2. But what's even better is, whenever another artifact you control with a mana value 3 or greater enters, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with this token gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. And that includes the other ones that you're creating. So that could get out of hand. We've got Iron Man, Bleeding Edge. It's got flying. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. So all your artifact creatures, you get copies of. All your other artifacts, you get copies of. We've also got the Super Soldier Serum. It's got enchant creature. Well, of course it has enchant creature. It's an aura. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2, has first strike and vigilance. So that's a nice buff. And is a legendary soldier in addition to its other types. Whenever enchanted creature attacks or blocks, attach any number of target equipment you control to it. So I did it for theme alone. You could put it on Captain America. Really, I'd probably put it on something else, because Captain America can catch his equipment anyhow. Maybe I'd put it on the Captain America Liberator so I could create some soldiers. We've also got Titania, Proud Pummeler. It's got first strike, melee. Whenever this creature attacks, it gets +1/+1 till end of turn for each opponent you attack this combat. But what's really nice is other creatures you control have melee. So a nice little buff. We've got War Machine. He's the Avenging Arsenal. He's an artifact creature. He's got flying. Whenever War Machine attacks, attacking modified creatures you control gain double strike till end of turn. So that'll work for your +1 counters and your equipment. And we've got the Cyberdrive Awakener. So it's got flying. Other artifact creatures you control have flying. And when this creature enters, each non-creature artifact you control becomes a 4/4 artifact creature till end of turn. So your mana dorks, any of those treasures that you made, all those will become 4/4 creatures till end of turn, and they all got flying. And you could go ahead and attack. If you got tons of them out, it could be a win con right there, or it could be very damaging. And now, of course, we come to the equipment. So we got a nice cheap one here. Vibranium Energy Daggers. They're indestructible. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, and it has equip of 3. So not bad. We've also got Hero's Blade. Equipped creature gets +3/+2. Whenever a legendary creature you control enters, you may attach this equipment to it. So that's pretty nice. You can avoid the equip cost. But the equip cost is 4. We've got Infinity Formula. So when this equipment enters, attach it to a creature you control. Equipped creature has gets +1/+2, and has, whenever this creature attacks, you gain 2 life. Not bad. We've got Hawkeye's Bow. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 and has reach. Whenever equipped creature becomes tapped, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. A bit of ping damage there. And it's equip 1. We have the Super Suit. It's a nice little combat trick. It's got flash. So you would do this after you tapped to attack. You would cast it, and when this equipment enters, attach it to target creature you control and untap that creature. Equipped creature gets +1/+2. You can even use Jane Foster, the Jane Foster Thor, to flash this equipment, and when it comes back, you attach it and you untap a creature that's attacked. And you get to draw a card because of her. We got a Skull Clamp, mainly because it was the only other themed equipment I could find. But equipped creature gets +1/-1, and whenever equipped creature dies, we draw 2 cards. So it's a bit of card draw there. I mean, if we get Captain America, Liberator, to create some soldiers, we can sacrifice some of them for a little bit of card draw. We got the Swordsman's Steel. When this equipment enters, we're going to draw a card for each equipment we control. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 for each equipment we control, and it's got an equip of 3. What's nice is it also costs 4, so when Captain America throws it, he can do 4 damage. Because, instead of shields, let's throw some swords around. We got the rocket-powered Goblin Glider. When this equipment enters, if it was cast from our grave, attach it to... we're not doing that. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has flying and haste. And we've got equip of 2. So nice. This lets Captain America attack right away if we have it out on the battlefield already. We got Falcon's Wing Harness. So when this equipment enters, attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has flying in Ward 1. A little bit of protection, a little bit of evasion. The equip is 2 and a blue. Iron Man Armor. When this equipment enters, we're going to attach it to target creature we control. Equipped creature gets +2/+1 and adds flying. Again, some evasion and buffing. We could also pay 2, and if this equipment isn't a creature, it becomes a 0/0 construct hero artifact creature with flying, and this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control till end of turn. It's also got a equip of 2. So turning it into that creature, if we've got lots of artifacts out there, and they don't have flyers, we could turn it into a flyer and have it real buffed and go in for some good damage. We've also got Captain America's Shield. It's indestructible. Equipped creature gets +0/+8 and has vigilance, so they're really resilient. And whenever equipped creature attacks, tap target creature defending player controls. So take something out so it can't block before the battle even begins. It's got an equip of 2. We've got Black Panther's Claws, reskin of Hammer of Nazalin. Whenever Black Panther's Claws or another equipment you control enters, you may attach that equipment to target creature you control, so kind of skipping the equip costs. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has indestructible. So we could protect Cap, get him indestructible. It's got an equip of 4. We got an unstable molecule suit. So, it also has a cost of 4, so you could throw it at people for 4. Unstable molecule suit. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has indestructible. Again, protecting the Cap. Equipped commander is pay 2. Equip anything else is 4. Throw it at people for 3 damage. Throw your suit at people for damage. Whisper Silk Cloak. Equipped creature can't be blocked and has Shroud. So that's some good evasion and protection right there. We've got an equip of 2. We've got Midnight Angel Armor. So these ones here are the ones that cost 5. It's nice to throw these things at creatures or players for 5 damage. When this equipment enters, we're going to create a 1/1 white soldier creature token, then attach this equipment to it, and probably immediately unattach it and equip it to Cap. Equipped creature gets +3/+3 and has flying and vigilance. And it's got an equip of 3. So, as well as we have the Spear of Bashinga. When the Spear of Bashinga enters, if there is no monarch, you become the monarch. So we got some card draw there. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has vigilance. And whenever equipped creature attacks the monarch, destroy target tapped non-land permanent that player controls. So we got some removal, and it's got an equip of 2. And what's nice about these here is you could use it as a combat trick. If it's attached to Cap, he has vigilance. You can attack with him. For this one here, you can destroy something on attack. Again, he doesn't have to tap because of the vigilance. And then after they declare blockers, you could pay 3 to throw this stuff at the defending creature or at the player, doing 5 damage. And that was a little more in depth into the Captain America First Avenger deck. I hope it gave some ideas, or it helped to give some ideas. I hope you enjoyed watching, and thank you.